Hello, welcome to another edition of the Pace Report. I'm Brian Pace, reporting live here at the Jazz Standard here in New York City. In his debut tonight here at the Jazz Standard, guitarist, band leader Pat Martino is going to grace the stage with his organ unit. For well over 40 years, Pat Martino's unique guitar style has etched him in the great echelon of great jazz guitarists here as well as abroad. In addition to him debuting with his unit here at the Jazz Standard, he has an upcoming autobiography called Here and Now, where he talks about his life, his beginnings in Philadelphia, to him moving here in the mid-1960s when jazz was changing again, to his near-fatal death with his aneurysm back in the early 80s, as well as his revival. Tonight we're going to sit down and talk about his life, reflect on the highs and lows, as well as talk about what jazz means to him. Congratulations on your autobiography. It seems like right now you're in a very good space in your life right now.
I always am. It's continuous. It's continuous, and it's just the saving grace of the entire experience from the most concrete dilemmas that to this current day is simplicity. It's all been compressed into a simple little moment that demands only one thing: to pay attention to the moment. And it's a wonderful way of living.
Now, I understand that you approached Bill to help you write this book. Tell me about the direction that you wanted to go in this book, because there are lots of great music autobiographies, but we talked earlier, you said you wanted him to help you trim the fat.
In a sense, I think one of the most profound facets of my ongoing experience is how music itself and the craftsmanship as an instrumentalist has evolved to a degree of second nature. And in so doing, it has alleviated a very distorted expectation that happened at a very early age. The norm, what I think all of the students of the craft are hoping for, which is success in the business. It unfolded in such a way that it became second nature, and because of that, what evolved from it was a deeper concern in purpose. The abilities became like powers that were social as well as cultural, and the opportunities that emerged from these arenas turned into a completely different, definitive experience. I say to students, in fact, I had a young fella last night and his dad came over to me at the end of one of the shows. And at the end of our embrace, our conversation, he asked me a question. He said, can you give me advice? And he asked as a serious, devoted student of the arts. And my advice to him was purpose. The power to be able to have a consistent flow with the creative, productive path that he's on has to be seen second nature to a degree where he can now give some thought to what he wants to use that power for.
You know, the mid to late 60s, I guess the deans of the guitar, you had Wes Montgomery, you had Grant Green, you had Jim Hall, and you, George Benson, and God rest his soul, Melvin Sparks came on the scene and took the guitar, your instincts and your ability, and you gave the guitar another voice. What was going on at that time? Because it was really the changing of the guards. The music was changing also.
It wasn't only the individuals, myself included. It was New York City. It was Harlem. It was the world around us. It was places in every city that no longer exist. As Count Basie's no longer is, as Small's Paradise no longer is, as here in New York City, as in Philadelphia, how Pep's and the Showboat no longer exist. There are different places everywhere that no longer exist. And what no longer exists is the source of what was causing us to be so filled with this energy, full of this energy. It was the people. It was the way we were the way we were living, the environments that we enjoyed each other in. It's not like that now. It's quite different now. But there is no comparison in terms of evaluation. Right. Don't misunderstand. It's just totally different now. It's different in such a way that I often, when I'm functioning in one of the universities or conservatories in adjunct faculty, I notice students that really depend upon transcription for a closer relationship with the evaluation of the arts. And all of that remains to be confined within the craft itself, whatever idiom that they're functioning, doing this within. And in the process, they're missing the environment that it took place in, the people and their reaction to being interfaced together, all of us together. Not only the musicians, but the people who were working at these establishments, who were not musicians, the people who were walking past these places who were not musicians. You know, the people that make you wonder, wow, I wonder what caused him to be like that. Wow, gee, you know, when you're looking. Or I wonder, wow, what a beautiful person. All of these different things are still taking place, but I find that so many musicians, in fact, not only musicians, but in every field of endeavor, lose sight of the moment. And because they will do so if they're blind to one thing alone, music, as a musician. So a musician is a craftsman, and who I extremely admire in terms of the abilities, the technical abilities. But the human being is far beyond any one of these categories of achievement.
Musically, one of the things that I admire about you is, one, you've played all genres of jazz, and you've never been pretty much pigeonholed into a genre of jazz. You've played Latin, you've played straight ahead bop, you've played the organ trio. At this part of your life, I mean, because tonight you're playing with the organ trio, which do you feel comfortable playing with?
Gee, you must understand that it's not so much idiomatically a comfort that I'm seeking, or a format communication-wise. It's the people that surround it included with it. It's the environment. It's the total unification of everything at once, here and now. It's that moment that embodies everything in it. The movement of a waitress, the rapport of a bartender or a maitre d'. To be able to witness this and to be part of that environment. The music is second nature. It envelops the entire thing. So I find it difficult to adhere to the confines of any type of music. It's just the people. It's the moment of reality that's taking place at that time that I find to be mystical.
That'll do it again for another edition of the Pace Report. I'm Brian Pace, reporting live here at the Jazz Standard. I'd like to personally thank Pat Martino for his time, as well as the staff and management here at the Jazz Standard. As always, please visit my website, www.thepacereport.com, for my weekly column as well as my past segments. Until next time, remember, if it's in the groove, it'll make you move. Until next time, peace.